Clint Eastwood, the enduring actor and director who rose from humble beginnings to conquer Hollywood. But in the back of the steely gaze and unwavering on-display screen presence lies a life marked by way of worry. From a adolescence disrupted by means of frequent moves to the psychological toll of early profession struggles, Eastwood's adventure was far from clean. He continued anxiety attacks, a devastating plane crash, and the heartbreaking loss of his father. Yet, amidst these challenges, he cast a legacy as one of cinema's most celebrated figures. Did Clint Eastwood's turbulent past shape the legend he became? Watch until the end to discover the untold story. On May 31, 1930, little Clint Eastwood entered the arena at St. Francis Hospital in San Francisco. Stunning the nurses with a hefty 11-pound weight, in comes him the nickname Samson. His parents, Clinton S.R. and Ruth Nee Runner, boasted a family tree with English, Scottish, Dutch, German, and Irish roots. Clint even had a Mayflower passenger somewhere again in his ancestry. Later, a more youthful sister, Jean Bernhardt, joined the family. Throughout the 1930s, Clint's dad struggled to maintain down a constant activity. He tried his hand as a salesperson and even dabbled as a detective in San Francisco. It became a decade of steady actions for the Eastwoods, but by using 1940 they found balance in prosperous Piedmont, California. Forget the one's Depression-era testimonies Clint sometimes drops. The Eastwoods were living without difficulty with a swimming pool, USA membership club, and all of the perks. Sadly, college wasn't Clint's robust suit. Held lower back in Piedmont Junior High because of poor grades, he changed into forced to play catch-up with summer season training. His rebellious streak actually flared up at Piedmont High School. That obscene message scrawled on the scoreboard, the flaming effigy at the faculty garden, the one stunts were given him kicked out in short order. Oakland Technical High offered a clean begin, nicely form of. Teachers saw a spark of talent and driven him towards college plays. But Clint certainly wasn't fascinated. He changed into fast cars, girls, and honing his pastimes like tennis and golf. While he could have been a decent basketball participant, Clint preferred solo hobbies. He worked on automobile engines, even learned about plane preservation, and became so skilled at the piano that a pal recalls his fingers literally bleeding from exercise. But graduation? A large query mark. Records are fuzzy, and buddies like Fritz Maines accept as true with he actually dropped out to chase a terrific time somewhere else. With his father moving to Seattle in early 1949, Clint observed a brief home together with his friend Harry Pendleton in Oakland. Then a stroke of success, an invitation to a Malibu celebration wherein he met movie director Howard Hawks, a prime turning factor in his lifestyles. But before Hollywood, there was actual work. Logging in Springfield, Oregon. A stint as a lifeguard once you have his Red Cross certification, or even playing ragtime piano in an Oakland bar. Talk approximately a wild start. Did uncooked skills and fortunate breaks pave his path, or changed into future guiding him all along? Keep looking, things are about to get an entire lot more interesting. The Korean War drafted Clint Eastwood into the Army in 1951, however, rather than battlefields, he landed at Fort Ord, California. His venture? Swimming instructor, safe gig, proper. But destiny has a way of shaking matters up. September 30th, 1951. Hitch day experience returned to base from Seattle. Turns out it is a jinxed flight. Bad weather right off the bat. Then matters get genuinely bad. An inmate escaping the infamous island jail by way of audaciously swimming across the frigid San Francisco Bay. Art imitating lifestyles? Seems like escaping dying gave Clint the grit that makes his on-screen escapes so utterly plausible. But hi there, the Navy lifestyles isn't always all work. Clint has a side hustle at a sugar organization to enhance his measly $67 a month pay. Plus, there is that rumored romance with an officer's daughter. Good connections never hurt. Even then, a ride to Carmel sparked something in him. Someday I'd want to live here. His Army pals include men like Richard Long and Martin Milner, future TV stars. The 70s and early 1980s saw Clint Eastwood exchange his spurs for a badge and the dusty plains for town streets. This technology brought Dirty Harry, the long-lasting San Francisco cop who wasn't afraid to bend the rules to get his man. The subject matter of the rogue with a badge persevered in movies like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot and The Gauntlet, where the strains between morality and legality blurred. Eastwood additionally showed his comedic facet with the Every Which Way movies, presenting his orangutan partner Clyde. This generation ended with the chilling escape from Alcatraz, in which Clint proved his appearing prowess wasn't limited to heroes. He ought to play a determined convict just as convincingly. While making the 1975 thriller The Eiger Sanction, tragedy struck the film group. Experienced mountain climber David Knowles, operating as a stunt double, changed into wished for some greater pictures of a mountain climbing collection. He teamed up with fellow climber Mike Hoover to finish the undertaking. They correctly acquired the photos, however disaster followed. An unexpected rock slide sent a boulder hurtling closer to the guys as they stood on a ledge. Mike Hoover became significantly injured with a fracture, while David Knowles tragically lost his existence. A chilling detail, the horrific scene reflected one the group had filmed just days earlier then. One of the surviving climbers defined the surprise, announcing, "We flew as much as that identical area, and there has been the scene that we have been faking for 2 days." Dave Knowles placing dead at the cease of the rope? It became incredible. Fantasy and reality come head-on. The news devastated Clint Eastwood. He felt responsible for the loss of life and changed into beaten by grief, almost abandoning the complete mission. However, his group, Information: The Inherent Dangers of Filmmaking, advised him to continue, believing it was the satisfactory way to honor David Knowles' reminiscence and determination. The 80s and early 1990s brought a shift in Eastwood's characters. They were not simply difficult anymore, they were burdened. In Firefox, he played a pilot haunted by means of PTSD, whilst Tightrope saw him as a cop affected by the killer he pursues. This time as a weathered horseman on a journey through rural Mexico. Clint Eastwood's private lifestyles is as dramatic as any film he has directed. His first marriage to Maggie Johnson in 1953 regarded to mark a preference for stability. While initially hesitant, approximately settling down, Eastwood took the plunge, but the domestic bliss quickly waned. Restlessness crept in and extramarital affairs have become a habitual topic. The first effect of this philandering lifestyle turned into a daughter, Lori Murray, born from a secret affair and located for adoption without Eastwood's know-how. Another affair resulted within the delivery of Kimberlyn. Despite Maggie's cognizance of those transgressions, the couple remained together for a time, even welcoming their personal kids, Kyle and Allison, into the arena. However, the cracks inside the facade had been growing wider. By 1979, rumors of Eastwood's involvement with co-celebrity Sandra Locke swirled, leading to the couple's final separation. The effects of Eastwood's romantic selections prolonged some distance past the headlines. Kimber. Eastwood's dating with her father has been a supply of conflicting narratives. At times, she's defined a robust bond. At the same time as on different events, she's spoken of feeling left out and frustrated. Even though Eastwood claims he to start with did not recognize she become his. This pattern of retaining his kids a secret would repeat itself later. Sandra Locke entered the photograph in 1972, even though Eastwood turned into Nevertheless with Johnson and Locke together with her adolescence buddy in a platonic marriage. Their on-set chemistry within The Outlaw Josie Wales was a passionate, however tumultuous dating. Locke alleged that Eastwood, towards his desires, compelled her into having abortions and a ball ligation. This poisonous dynamic lasted a decade and led to ugly complaints claiming fraud and broken guarantees on Eastwood's part. While Locke was nevertheless inside the photo, Eastwood met flight attendant Jacelyn Reeves. Their fling led to kids, Scott and Catherine. Around the same time, he crossed paths with actress Frances Fisher, fueled the concern among those near him. However, Eastwood placed these rumors to rest final month with an unprecedented look at Jane Goodall's conservationist occasion in his hometown of Carmel through the Sea. He becomes seen smiling, chatting with Goodall, and seemed in desirable spirits. Photos of the 93-year vintage legend display him searching healthful, with longer hair, a full beard, and an informal but stylish outfit. This marked a return to the general public eye, as he is even lower back in the back of the digital camera, directing and generating the court docket drama Juror No. 2. He became spotted on the Georgia set Ultimate November, truly engaged with the paintings. Eastwood maintains a low-fats, excessive protein food plan, being aware of his levels of cholesterol, a lesson likely discovered from his father, who lamentably died young from cardiovascular disorder. This wholesome lifestyle absolutely runs in the circle of relatives, as Clint's son, actor Scott Eastwood, credits his father as his fitness notion. Scott found out that Clint touted him to boost weights as a teenager and follows a comparable regimented diet targeted on vitamins rather than indulgence. Whether acting, directing, or surely playing a day with fellow conservationists, it is clear that Clint Eastwood may not permit age define him. Thank you for watching. If you adore this video, allow us to realize with a like, comment, and consider to subscribe and hit that notification bell.